First, we will improve housing quality by strengthening our enforcement of common housing code violations and complaints.
Well, another day, another campaign promise fulfilled from good old Zohran Mamdani out in New York City, this time for tenants' rights, specifically protecting renters from landlords who are not keeping up their end of the bargain. Seriously, there is nothing that this guy cannot do. Here, take a look at the press conference where he announces these decisions.
For the first time ever, inspectors will investigate every single heat complaint the city receives. Also, for the first time ever, if HPD inspectors come at a time when you're not available, you will be able to reschedule a visit at a time that works for you. New Yorkers have been able to schedule food deliveries and the time they pick up their clothes at the dry cleaner for years. They should be able to do the same when it comes to an inspection of their home. We will also tackle pests, eradicate mold, and fix broken elevators. Three of the largest concerns voiced by New Yorkers during the rental ripoff hearing.
Again, I feel like this is the third or fourth time this month where Zohran just shows up and shows out and gives a prime example of how every politician out there should be acting, because this is exactly what Americans want and need. They want good leadership. They want people who are going to represent them, who will actually do things for them that benefit them and make their lives better. Actually give people a reason to vote for someone and then succeed on those campaign promises, and this is just another prime example of that. It's not always flashy, it's not always saving the world, but it's making the lives of everyday people better. And that's something we are sorely lacking these days. Here is a breakdown of what Zohran just did. He's requiring landlords to disclose when listings have been altered by AI, huge, legal recognition of tenant unions to expand tenants' ability to organize, and stronger enforcement against negligent landlords whose buildings have conditions like mold and pests, and more. These steps come out of the rental ripoff hearings held in the 5 boroughs where the mayor's office heard from thousands of tenants. Today's announcements are entitled the Rental Ripoff Report, and it contains a total of 23 policy actions the Mamdani administration will now pursue based on what they heard from tenants. So these were all top concerns coming directly from tenants. So Zohran Mamdani listened to his constituents and then actually was able to implement policy to make things better, right? He's just like, psh, hold my beer, gets it done. And according to a speaker at one of these housing events, they said that New York City will no longer tolerate the violence of evictions. So W number 1 for Zohran Mamdani for today, but you know how we roll here. Zohran doesn't just get one awesome thing done, he gets a bunch of awesome things done, because yesterday he did something absolutely amazing by showing up to Rikers Island to watch the FIFA World Cup semifinal, not with diplomats or politicians, but with inmates at the prison. Take a look.
And we talked about 66, you have 1 star only, you conceded that. And 8% they have 3. The senior thing, I'm trying to get
you guys work for?
on the judge.
I hope that this shares with people who are incarcerated here on Rikers that they too are a part of New York City. The World Cup has been a magical moment for the entire city. These are New Yorkers, and they will be New Yorkers when they get out of Rikers. They're New Yorkers today, and I wanted to make sure that we can celebrate this moment together.
The first time that I saw this clip, I actually got a little emotional. These New Yorkers, these people are getting humanized by one of the biggest and most influential voices in the country. And Mamdani is showing not only the city, but the entire nation that our carceral system is barbaric and cruel, and that we do not need to treat the vast majority of inmates with the kind of disdain and hatred that they have to face every single day. But instead, we can look at them as people. Oh, wow, what a shocker! We can give them compassion and empathy and actually helping them towards a better future. It really just showcases Mamdani's philosophy of rehabilitation over, punishment and the carceral state at large. And I really love to see it. Here is Hassan Piker talking about this specific clip and highlighting the importance of moments like these.
This is a very cool thing that Mamdani's doing, humanizing people that are oftentimes the most overlooked individuals in society.
66, you have 1 star only, you conceded that.
It's a phenomenal thing to do. This is one of his, oh man, this is unironically one of his best qualities, straight up.
And because it's Zohran Mamdani we're talking about here, of course there's more to talk about. Earlier this week, Zohran was giving a dynamite speech for the Nelson Mandela Foundation, where he once again proudly and unabashedly stood against Zionism and for the Palestinian people. Take a look.
I think of Omar El-Akkad, who wrote a book titled, "One Day, Everyone Will Have Always Been Against This." That sentence captures one of history's cruelest most familiar habits. Eventually, almost everyone claims they opposed apartheid. Eventually, almost everyone claims they stood with Madiba, that they stood with Dr. King. Eventually, almost everyone will claim they oppose so much of the injustice that they justify today. But justice is not measured by where we stand after history has issued its verdict. It is measured by where we stand when the verdict is still being rendered. Why must we wait until 1,000 more parents bury their children? Until even more lose their limbs, their homes, their futures to come together and insist upon Palestinian freedom?
Beautifully said, and a very apt message coming from Zohran here, not only highlighting the injustices of apartheid South Africa, but also drawing a comparison between South Africa and Palestine, much like Nelson Mandela himself did. New York City has been cooking for a long time with Zohran at the helm, but with Zohran there, it also sends a message to the entire state of New York and the nation as a whole, but not just New York City. The entire state of New York is now kicking ass, because check out this statement from the governor of New York, Kathy Hochul.
I want to build more nuclear in New York than the entire country has in 30 years. That's how ambitious I am about powering our future of innovation. But if I have to choose between powering a largely vacant data center with the same amount of power I can have a Micron with 1,000 jobs, I can tell you right now where I'm going. So they can come under the conditions we lay out, but I'm also going to be investing a lot of my energy on the good paying jobs that'll be there for the long term.
A legit announcement of growth in nuclear energy for New York. Now, I know many people hearing this will hear nuclear energy and they'll raise an eyebrow and they'll go, wait a minute, nuclear energy, are we sure about this? But it is the energy source of the future. It's clean, it's efficient, and per capita, it is actually extremely safe. We just hear about it when it isn't. But looking at this chart here, it is by far one of the safest, only beating out solar, and it is extremely clean, being actually the cleanest source of energy when it comes to greenhouse gas emissions. So yeah, Kathy Hochul is 100% right that New York and the entire country need to start moving away from fossil fuels and invest more in wind, solar, and of course, nuclear. And actually making a bold and powerful policy position like this helps generate a lot of not only goodwill towards, you as a politician, but also just makes you a better politician. On the other hand, look to Abigail Spanberger, the Democrat centrist who is now the governor of Virginia at the same time that Mamdani took office out in New York. Many said that her winning this race was proof that centrist politics is actually the path forward and the U.S. is on the right track. And she got off to actually a pretty good start. She did some really amazing things at the beginning of her term, but in just a few months' time, her disapproval has jumped quite rapidly, and she is becoming another milquetoast, do-nothing Democrat, whereas Mamdani continues to soar in the polls. He is extremely popular, and he is delivering for his constituents every single day. And Mamdani is not just a great politician, he's also a super likable guy, and hasn't changed as a person since he got elected. Just take a look at this clip where he's just casually chit-chatting with some reporters about the FIFA World Cup.
Everyone I root for has lost, so I feel like whoever I say is going to lose at this point. What I will say is it's been an incredible World Cup. And as someone who likes to think of myself as technologically fluent and able to spot AI versus a real image, I thought that the image of Lionel Messi and Lamine Yamal was AI. I've seen this image, but Lamine Yamal was picked out of a number of different children for a photo to be bathed by Lionel Messi when he was a child. There's a photo of Lionel Messi and Lamine Yamal as a baby being bathed in the bathtub, and now those two are going to face off this Sunday in New York City and New Jersey. It's pretty incredible. So I'm excited. I'm going to say the classic politician answer. Excited for a good game.
He is such a positive force on American politics. And in case you were curious about what picture he's talking about there of Lionel Messi in a photo shoot with a baby, well, it's actually this photo right here. And the baby in that photo is Lamine Yamal, and he now plays for Spain's national team, and the two of them will be facing off against each other in the FIFA World Cup final on Sunday. Just absolutely pure cinema. I cannot believe it. It's actually crazy that happened. But I think that's going to do it for me. Thank you so much for sticking around to the end. Be sure you subscribe to USDS for more news like this. I'm Iago Lashua. Have a good day. Goodbye.